Futures. Where are futures? I didn't open futures. Okay, let's open up futures first. Or- SOX seem to be running these days. I don't know if anybody's trading that or not.
I thought about
Tesla.
trading it all day. I didn't.
What was that, Marissa?
I thought about trading SPX all day, but I didn't.
To the upside or to the downside? Which way?
Uh,
Or maybe
to
both
the
ways.
upside, I think I was working, and so I just didn't have enough focus on it to do
Mhm.
it, so I left alone.
That's good. That is very good. Unless you kind of one thing will take a hit if you are, kind of divided. You have divided attention, so it's just given that one thing will take a hit. Either it could be a job or it could be trading. So today, I mean, uh, our ongoing analysis was pretty much on point about VIX and whatnot. We wanted VIX to come down. VIX is coming down, and I think there is still some room to cover on VIX. The downside, I think this is where VIX is headed basically. This number here, it had to hit this number and look for an ephemeral bounce. That was my expectation. And we got that ephemeral bounce into 2504, 2510, or something like that. And then it pushed back down. So now what? My understanding is that it will come back into this number again, 2430 or something. Maybe an ephemeral bounce, some sort of a fight around here, and then it will push back into this number about 2359. It's the same moving average, but this is regular candles and this is Heikanashe candles. And per the candles, the downward momentum is still intact for VIX. So I'm looking for this number, a test of this number, 2363. Not in a straight line, of course, not in a straight line. On the lower time frame, there might be some sort of a what do you call that? There could be some support and whatnot on the lower time frame, and the 1 hour chart is still looking to the downside. This is what happened right here. It bounced right 2437, whatever this number was. It bounced there, and it got into the five. Couldn't even touch the eight. Why? This is the reason I was looking for that 2510 to 2515 in the while during the session, but we couldn't even get there. It stopped around 2505, something like that, and started to push down. And I don't think there's enough juice in VIX. The averages are still pointing down. So my understanding is that tomorrow we might get this number here, 2421. And again, it'll push up into its 5, 8, and perhaps even into this number. And again, then it should get resolved to the downside. That's my understanding right now. 4 hours still looks terrible. 8 below 21 is still intact. 8 below 21 still intact. 8 below 21 still intact. So this is the reason it got towards the end of the day. This is what happened. Uh, Fix was trying to push up and it tried to push above its 21. Fair enough. However, the averages, the 8 over 21 never happened. It rejected right here. 8 below 21 is still intact. So this is still going on, and I think this will still continue to the downside. Might be an ephemeral bounce here or there, but I think it will come down into where's the number again? I think it should test this 2435 something, and then start to push down into this number somewhere around here. This is where I'm sitting for VIX. 23 is where I'm sitting for VIX. And this analysis has been on spot. And right here, my expectation was it bounced other few times before there. So 50 was, this is where I was looking for a bounce. And, around here, so what happened today with that Microsoft announcement coming, Microsoft lowering their guidance, so I was of the mindset that uh, VIX has some support here, and it will bounce off of that number, right? So that was my understanding. Because of the Microsoft announcement, it might drag down the tech, and along with that, VIX will start to bounce. And in the morning, during the open session, we saw that bounce. That bounce did come through for us. Where is that? 19. Where is that? Why am I looking at this right here? So during this is where that did happen, right? We got this push in the VIX, and this was it. After this, it couldn't really push any further than that. Did not even touch. Did not even make an attempt to go to this number, and it started pushing down. And I was looking for this number, a test of 2659 and perhaps around 27. And that's the reason I was looking for further downside for SPX to come back into its 8 right here, right? So this is what I was expecting to happen, and VIX to the upside, and this guy to the downside here. But neither of that happened. And but anyway, so not doesn't really need to, whatever we design, whatever we draw doesn't really need to happen. But we came pretty close. It broke below its 21 and bounced off of that number, and rest of it gave a doji again. So now, now what? After this thing, of course, and one notable thing here is that the 5 is still intact, but the 8 left. So that gap would, I think that gap is continuing here, and I think that gap will come tomorrow. I think it will leave a gap with between its 5 and the price. So I think tomorrow the VIX will leave that gap to the downside, and then perhaps during the next week, most likely we'll try to fill that gap again, and then most likely push back into this number 2279 or 23. Let's round that up at 23, and then most likely push down into this number right about here, 2160 or something. Uh, if VIX breaks below, so this is where, if VIX continues this path, then we are looking for a rally in the markets. I am standing at okay. So let's finish this subject here. So VIX looking for further downside, not in a straight line, of course. So this is where I'm looking for. I'm looking for a test of this number here, 2431, and then push into 2363. This is what I'm looking for. For looking forward for VIX tomorrow. If that breaks, we are looking for a push into 2294, and this is also coinciding with this number here, 22 something, 23. Let's round it up at 23, right? So this is for VIX, and if VIX starts to come down, this should start to push up. And this gave us a doji on the regular candles today, but it was a green day according to the regular candles. So what next? We close on the highs, and the good thing is that 4165 to 4175 range, it closed above that range. That's a good thing, and we're looking for a hit of this number here. So tomorrow 4189, let's round that up at 4190. That's my base case to the upside. If we clear there, then this is my good to have, 4212. And most likely scenario is that we'll break this to the upside and push into this number, 4260 or something. 42, let's round that up at 4255, right? So this is most likely scenario of where it will end up hitting its 50-day moving average on the daily, and then probably take a breather somewhere there. And this will come about to happen if VIX starts to come down. And the majority of this move has to come from Apple. Microsoft was up today, but not by a lot, about 0.79%. So if Microsoft starts to kick into high gear, like, probably give us another 3% to the upside, because why not, right? We are living in that world. Why not? So Microsoft comes in, gives another 3%, and Apple picks up another 2%, then easily we'll be hitting 4211, and then perhaps we'll be testing this number, 4255, right? And if 40 this breaks here, then we're looking for a push down about 4268, and then most likely we'll look for a breather down there, and that's to the upside. And let's say for whatever reason for whatever crazy reason that somebody, somebody somewhere sits and sits up, wakes up from their slumber and says, hey, this is not a good environment to buy stocks, then we're looking for a push down. And that push down would probably, let's look for that push down here, and right about here. So five, look at that, 1 hour five is about 50 points or 30 points from where it closed. So my base case to the downside is a five on the 1 hour, which is sitting about 41.50. If that breaks, then we're looking for a further push down into 41.41. Right now, not really plotting anything beyond that. However, the mean is sitting all the way down here at 41.27. There's not actually, this should have been the scenario that we would be looking for downside. However, it doesn't seem like that way. We are looking for upside because VIX is coming back in. So and here, right here, if it breaks above this line, so this is the reason we are looking for this number, this 41. It couldn't clear that yesterday. It stopped here and came back in, and today we broke above that number, and good for us, we kind of closed above this number. So most likely a push up into the numbers that we just saw there. However, to the downside, 41.50, break below there, looking for 41.40, break below there, we are looking for 41.27. Mm, I don't believe it's going to go beyond that. However, looking if the mean breaks, we are looking for a lower inner Bollinger Band at 41.17. And if it does come down to 41.17, again, I think it will test the lows of the day from 2 days back. Right. So this range here, these dots have been very good. Prediction of what the range is going to be like for the day. So these dots are doing an amazing job here. So this is the range within which the day is getting played out. That's what we're seeing almost every single day. So whatever let's say if the range is breaking to the either to the upside or to the downside, the dots will adjust themselves, and you can figure out which way the market is trending. So this indicator is pretty decent in that regard. So yep. So to the upside, that's the upside on the 1 hour on the daily chart. This is my base case to the upside, 41.86, or rather 41.80. Let's put it here, 41.88. And the good to have would be about here, 42.10. And if that breaks, we're looking for a push into 42.50s to 42.60, right about this range, 42.55, 42.65. Not plotting anything beyond that number. However, there is a case that could be made towards the mean on the weekly, right? 4,300, you can make a case for that. I'm not sure we're going to get that, but let's look at a scenario how we can get there. And if somebody's trading futures, the immediate trade would be most likely to the downside. I see the averages coming down. So if it breaks below the five, look for a push into eight. If the markets were to be open, this is exactly how it would have played out, right? So this is a 1 hour chart. We know this chart, how this works. Goes to the top and hits some sort of a resistance and starts to come back into the five, then to the eight. And that is exactly what we are seeing with the futures. Where's the 1 hour chart? Right here, right? So coming back into its five. If it breaks below there, then we're looking for a push into the eight. If eight breaks below there, then we're looking for a push into most likely this number, this dot. That is a technical support. However, this is the number that I would be looking for to get tested, about 41.47. If that breaks below there, the mean is sitting at about 41.35. And if the mean gets tested, most likely the lower Bollinger Band will get tested at 41.23. Again, to the upside, 41.95. This is ES, the futures. If that breaks above to that range, then we're looking for a push into this number, 41.86 or something. And then this is a good to have, 42.38. And then it will be most likely it will take a breather around here, 42.47. So I'll be keeping a watch on this line tomorrow. If it breaks above this line and then pushes into this line, I'll be long here. to play all this, all the way from here to here. I'll be long the markets. Here is where it should take a breather, hitting two standard deviation, most likely a breather. Breather might actually push back into the 50 EMA right here. And from there, if it starts to push down right here into 41.39, that'd be awesome. Why are we looking for that? Look at the gap it left here. Right. So at some point in time, it will need to come back in. Either the technicals need to push up or the price needs to come back into this number. So even if you take an average of this distance between the price and the technicals, you will see most likely it will end up somewhere around here, 41.50 to 41.60 range. So yeah, that's the reason I'm looking for that push down and then perhaps push up. Cool. Now let's look at Apple. Apple was relentless today. This is crazy. Right. So looks like the lower time frame is kind of getting overbought, and most likely it will get resolved, just like it did here. Just like it did here, got resolved and start to push up, and most likely it will get resolved and start to push up again. So how far will it come down to get resolved? It has to come back, break its 5, break it 8, and then the mean is sitting at about 150.73. Can't believe I'm saying these numbers. A couple of days back, we were looking at Apple 132 and whatnot, and unbelievable numbers, 150.53. So if it were to be open immediately, we are looking for a push into this number, 150.73, then most likely a bounce at 150.51. And look at the range. 146.80 was the lows, and about 151.20 closed at the top. Wow. Right. And then, so this chart is telling me that it is kind of getting overbought. So it needs to cool off a little bit, right? And the cool off, it is kind of leaving its 5 again. So it needs to come back into its 5, at least into its 5. If it breaks below its 5, we're looking for a hit of 8. I don't believe it's going to go below its 8 at this point because how strong Apple has been. So most likely it will bounce off either the 5 or the 8. And the bounce would continue into that 152. If that 152 breaks, then we're looking for a further upside. And this is the reason that I'm looking for that upside here. Right, so it closed above its 5. That's a good thing. And then we're looking for a push into this number right about here. This should act as resistance. 152. This is the number, and this line should act as some solid resistance here. 152.09, and then that should break, and we should be testing the 8 here. 152.82. Then a break above 153.50 would put Apple around 156.80. I am still holding some Apple short as a hedge to my long. I am holding some of the Apple short, not a whole lot, but just in case something goes wrong, then I have some insurance. So this right here is clearly telling me that we're going to go into 150 to 72. Perhaps we'll break above that and we'll test 156.60. So this is how Apple should go, and this should bring about 230 or 250 between that range on SPX. And Apple still looking good to the upside on daily candles as well. The average is still looking up. Most likely scenario is again a push to the downside. I think either in the morning, either in the first half of the session or later half of the session, we might push down into this 21 again. We might test this number around 148.80. Let's round that up at 149 actually. So we might test this number, come back and test this number, then try to push back. However, if this number breaks right about here, then we are looking for a further push down into the mean right about here. Right about here. So the 21 should act as solid support. If it breaks below the 21, then we're looking for a push into the mean again. And to the upside, immediate upside is 152.56, and that should that break, then we're looking for a push into 155.84. This is on the daily time frame. The daily 200, and this thing is sitting at about 160. So the chances are very bright if that if it can clear its super trend around here 155 to 156, then we have a clear shot at this number about 159.70. So I'll be looking at Apple for strength. And if Apple demonstrates strength and VIX starts to push down the way that we are expecting it to push down, I will be longing the markets like there's no tomorrow. And uh, because why not, right? Because why not? Everybody else is buying, and we don't really want to be left out. We'll look at what technicals are telling us, and we'll play the same way. One notable thing here, one very very notable thing is that 8 is about to cross 21, right? And 8 cross 21 here, 8 cross 21 here, 8 cross 21 here. So we this upside is still intact. And as long as we know this thing, as long as the price is above 8, we are okay. And if the price comes back below the 8, then we'll look for the further downside. However, if the market wants to keep the price bill above 8, and we will respect that, we will try to do the same exact thing. And that's just how the trade management works. This is what the market is seeing right now, and this is what we want to see. And the market is seeing this line, we are seeing the same line. The market is holding the price above the 8, we will hold the price above the 8. That's just simple, plain and simple. And well, yeah, another thing is, where is that? Where is that? Right here. Cool. So 10-year. Now today, 10-year behaved very different. Something that I was not expecting at all, and it kind of look at this chart. See that it maintained this range all the way from here to here. It maintained that range and slightly moving down here. So the price of 10-year, I'm expecting it to kind of push down a little further, perhaps into second standard deviation, about 2.9. Most likely, it should come back into this number right around here, 2.89 to 2.895 to 2.897. So if it comes back into this number, the chance of bounce, there are a chance of bounce. However, if it breaks below there, then we're looking for a further push down into 2.87. If this happens, then the markets will rally. My expectation from the markets is that it should keep rallying into FOMC. And most likely around FOMC, it should start to push down. That's my understanding of the markets right now. Uh, yeah, this is still intact. The uptrend is still intact on the 10-year. And right about here. So, yeah, let's see. Right around here. What is this? Yeah, okay. So I was kind of fearful that because in the last night's starting session we were looking for this doji, and I was kind of thinking that will come back into this 5 before pushing up. Thank God we did not have that. Then this would be considered as an inside day, and this is also an inside day, by the way, and this is also an inside day. So usually what happens is when it's an inside day, usually it bumps to the upside, right? However, this is what I'm seeing. All the trend lines, all the averages, and all the in fact this the 20 moving average, which is a crucial one, that is pointing to the downside. Most likely it will pull this thing to the downside. Let's see how that plays out. The good thing, I mean, one thing that is encouraging, if you look at the chart, if you look at the sloping chart, However, if you look at the 50-day moving average, that is still pointing to the upside. So hopefully we will kind of we will kind of push to the upside, but this chart doesn't look good here. On the daily, this chart is not looking good. This chart seems like it wants to come back in, and if it breaks below all of these numbers, and then we're looking for a push into 50. However, one notable thing here again is 8 above 21 is still intact here, right? So we might see quite a bit of upside into this. Uh, Ideally, I want to see this thing break above 3 and stay above 3.25 and most likely push into 3.5. Maybe around FOMC, we might want to see that 3.5. And if this thing pushes above 3, pushes about 3.25, and pushes close to 3.5, and most likely the upside in the market that we are looking for, that will be vanished. Most likely the market will start to push back in. So that's what I'm looking for. And seems like this will kind of cave in to come back into its 5 at least before touching the mean. I don't know if it's going to touch the mean or not, but if it comes back into 5, this will, I think this will calm down VIX even further, giving markets the room to the upside. But let's see how this plays out. So that's the theory so far. So tomorrow things might change on a dime again. So yeah, let's wait for that and let's see how this things plays out. Notable moves here: 5% on Facebook, 6% on Netflix. I don't know what fun this is, but yeah, it is what it is. 12% on UPST. Crowd, I think it pushed down after earnings today, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, crowd did come back in, and most likely we'll see this thing. It did push down quite a bit. So most likely, it will recover, but I think if it can come back into that 150 and perhaps that 130 number, and the reason for that is, where is the 130 number coming from? Right about here, 143 and 130, right around here. If this thing can come into this number right here, that would be nice. Earnings were good. I don't know why they got, might be guidance. I don't know. Earnings were pretty decent, 33% to the upside and 5% on the bottom line, 33% on the top line. That's a good one. So this is the reason I was looking for a run up into the earnings, 175, 176, and and I think we got that number today. Come back into most likely here, 162 something. And this is where, if it comes back into this number, I'll buy it again. Uh, Even if it comes back into this number, most likely the push from here. And there is still upside intact. I think there is still upside to this story, but just not yet. So for the earnings, this will be a passive trade for me. I'll keep selling the puts here, and I'll keep selling the calls here. So this would be the range that this would be stuck within. So I'll take advantage of that. This will not be an active trade anymore unless I see something different. Unless the crowd starts to make a kind of big moves either way on the 1 hour chart. If it kind of makes a big move either way, either to the upside or to the downside, then I'll look for active trade. If not, this will be a passive trade for me. One another thing is this guy, Bitcoin. For whatever reason, this thing pumped today, right? This thing absolutely pumped today, all the way till here, uh, 3670 something. Now it is coming back down, and this is the range that it's been stuck within. The 200-day moving average, and I think there's another metric that it is following right here. We're looking for a push above this, and it kind of pushed up from there, and it wasn't able to clear this number. So if it clears this number, then we're looking for a push into 30,800. Uh, this I think a couple of days back it was, what was that, around here, 29 or something. It was struggling below its 200. Now that's done. Now here's something that is very notable about that. See this line all the way pushing down. So the 50-day moving average is pushing down. That's a good thing. So that means there is still some room to downside for Bitcoin. So if it comes back below its 50 on the 1 hour, then again I think we can look for a push down into 200-day moving average on the 1 hour time frame. So let's see how it behaves around this number here, 30,500, 30,500, 16 or something around here. Let's round that up at 30,500. Let's see how it behaves there. If it breaks below there, we're looking for a hit of mean about 32, and probably then again come back into below 29. Let's see how this fares. And as long as you see Bitcoin going green, and that's what was happening today, and Bitcoin was trying to push up through all the way here, and the market was pumping. And around, where is that number? Yeah, Bitcoin was pumping all the way here, right about here. And this is where, look at this doji, right? So this is not behaving as it's a crypto, or it's a different asset class. It is behaving as though it's part of Nasdaq, or the stock market. Look at this doji, right? This is where this is where the announcement came, I think, about Microsoft kind of giving a lower guidance. And look at that push down. The moment it started to push up, and I think market picked up on it, or this picked up on the markets and started to push up. 8 above 21 happened here and start to push up. So this is something key that I'm watching. And if it pushes above 30.6, then we're looking for a push into 30.8. Let's see how this plays out. And on the higher time frames, this is still vulnerable to the downside. Where is that? Monthly chart. So this, whoa, this is the gap it left on the monthly. Okay, that makes sense. So it needs to kind of push up either till 36, or if you take an average of this, the distance between the price and the 5. So let's say 34, right? Even if you put it at a conservative level, 33.5. So I think, yeah, I think in the short term, it will kind of push up into this number, 33.5 to 34. And that means market should be kind of pumping up 32, and then most likely push into this number here, 33.5 to 34. Yeah, that needs to happen. And as long as you see this thing and it is giving a doji here on the weekly, that means there's a pump coming onto into Bitcoin. I'll be keeping a close watch on this one. And even if I'm not trading anything around Bitcoin, there are trades, BITO. I think there's ETF. Then you have miners, and I think most likely I'll be looking, if I get involved, I'll be looking at Mara again. It's been a long while. Whoa, what happened? $8 on Mara. Fuck. Yeah, if I get involved, I'll be looking for something like a Mara, perhaps Riot. I don't think Riot is a thing I want to play, but yeah, Mara is definitely one thing that I would like to play. I don't know if MSTR is still viable. Yeah, I could play MSTR as well. Yep, yep. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it from my end. Anybody has any data points, comments, concerns?
Check out REGN, please.
Regeneron
Yeah, they got fucking hammered 5% today.
happened.
I don't know.
Why?
I'm looking. I don't know why.
This is pharma, and they should be doing okay.
Yep, should
Oh,
be.
what happened? Technicals are telling that this downside is pretty much there.
Holy
Yeah, this
shit.
downside.
Their fucking option chain is total fucking shit.
Yeah, these things don't trade much liquid on the option side of things. Look at that, only 1.26
$5 spread
equity.
on a 1220 bid.
Wow, fucking shit.
Never mind.
Oil is kind of doing weird stuff. And let's see Netflix. Yep. If Netflix breaks above here, then it has a clean shot at 225.
Fucking Heinz got beat up today too. 2.5%.
Which one?
Heinz, KHC.
K E.
No, KHC. Heinz.
Let's see.
Yeah, they got they
Uh,
got beat up today.
this is a Buffett company, right? Warren Buffett.
I'm not sure.
That guy is involved in here, I think. The weekly is still pointing to the downside. KHC. This chart looks like, yeah. There was something happening in Chewy. Wow, 24%. It came in better than, whoa, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
135% beat.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There we got that alert on that one. What was it? Okta? OKTA?
Yeah.
Holy
Okta is
shit.
about
We should have
8%.
we should have took it.
Yeah, Tesla 720. Okta had a good earnings, I think. And they raised their guidance about 18%. It was running in the morning as well. Right. Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
Should have
108.
we should have played it.
Yep. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yep. Should have, could have, would have. What was the other one?
84. Nice.
He called another one. It's IndieXP.
NDXP?
Uh huh. Never heard of him.
There's nothing. XPI, there's something in XPI. Semiconductors. This ran. NVIDIA ran today.
Nancy Drew X penis has no
Nancy
confirmation.
Drew X. What was the last one?
IndieXP. P as in Paul.
Nope. Nothing coming up.
Hmm. I don't know. And his other one was Crowd. CRWD.
Yep. Yep. We knew crowd would run into earnings. It ran up into earnings, and after earnings, it gave up the gains. I think it is still up after hours as well. Yeah. It pushed all the way down to 164 or something and then came back up. Good deal. Good deal. Uh, let's see if there's a watch list. I'm posting watch lists and I don't think anybody's paying attention to those watch lists. But
We only trade Tesla and Spy here.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, Baba looking okay.
And Soxel ran over 10% today.
Which one? Socks?
Soxel, SOXL, ten and a half
Yeah,
percent.
that was a good one. Yeah. Yep. Yep. SOXL was very decent. Socks
Uh,
S much was pretty decent today.
that would have been a fucking
3%.
awesome equity play right there.
Yep. And yeah, so tomorrow Tesla starts to push up tomorrow. Probably, I'll get involved into that 800 and 805 calls. And if 805 clears up, and then most likely we'll be looking for 819 to 820 Tesla. ABNB is coming up in scans. I don't know why. ABNB is I put this up again. Let's see if anybody wants to trade it. Trade it. Where's the watch list? Potential watch list. Here. So looks like nobody did crowd today. How about cat? Anybody did cat? 2080. One eight. Well, it did okay. Not too shabby. It was okay. And dog 102. Nobody took D dog as well. D dog we had in the chart. Uh, Let me ask. We had Nvidia. We had Neo on there. Neo did okay. So everything hit from the watch list. All of them did pretty decent from the watch list. I don't know if anybody played it or not. Uh, Maybe not. Yeah. Flappy, yeah, it did. It did. We kind of steered away from that Tesla thingy. Pretty decent, but then Flappy brought it back. But Flappy is very smart, you know. He saw it going up today, and he kind of stayed away from it. At one point in time, at one point when it was dipping from that 792 or something, then he took some puts, and that's pretty much it. 782, whatever that number is. Uh, yeah, and he's very smart. He's a smart trader. He knows his boundaries basically. I know, right? But he knows himself. He's a bear. He's a bear. He likes to play the downside. I didn't do it either. I was not in Tesla, but yeah, I was in other stuff. Primarily, I was in SPX. I did. Uh, oh, I'm trying to focus on this small account. I'm trying to focus on this account, small account. On the other account, I am mostly involved with passive plays, which are guaranteed to make money. There's 99% chance that even if I don't look at those trades, they will end up making money by the expiration time. So not terribly bothered with any of that stuff there. Uh, but looking to build up this small account, and most likely I put another. I don't know. I just want it to be a little above 25 to 26. I have wiggle room, and I'll push that account into margin account again. So yeah, looking for that. Several million buying power. Uh, this is not that tough. People make it tough on themselves. It feels nothing actually. It feels like nothing. Uh, and most likely from next week onwards, I'll be a little more aggressive in my small account. Probably, looking to get those 300, 500. I shouldn't be saying that, but yeah, let's see how that goes. Full port Fridays. Tomorrow is Friday. Oh, where is Ryan? He didn't say that. Ryan, you there?
Brother, you know I'm always here for the Fridays, brother. You know I'm always here for those. Ah, shit.
Cool, cool, cool. Nice. Yeah. So tomorrow, yeah, nice. Put out some good trades. Don't get hyped up. Yeah. Put out the technical analysis behind your trades or reasoning behind your trades. Stay, close to, stay true to yourself.
Yeah, I haven't been getting hyped up lately. No, I haven't been getting hyped lately. Just calm trading.
Yep. And again, stay true to yourself. Know your limits. Just because you said something doesn't mean you need to stick to it. You can change your mind at any point in time and do what is best for your portfolio. Protect your money.
Oh my god. So I took those calls this morning at 23 cents a piece.
Mhm.
They closed at 65 cents, and Qs are still pushing up. That's 282% if I would have held them.
But then, if it was about $25 a piece, how many did you take again?
I only took one.
But if it was a small position, you should have, probably cut two. If you took two, you should have cut one and left one, right?
Hang on. I did. I took four. Yeah, I got four of
Yeah. Nice.
them. So $100 is is
Yep.
basically what I risked. 20, 23 bucks or 23 cents a piece. So they would
Yep.
have been.
Yep.
I don't even want to think about what they would have been.
$100.
Tomorrow I'm going to turn you off. I'm not going to listen to you.
No, 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 don't do that.
Tell me.
Keep that,
Fucking,
keep that,
fucking
keep
Q.
that, no, keep that Darth voice always at the back of your head. Take
Yeah.
profits, take profits.
If any of you guys have ever talked to Q on the on online, whatever, he kind of gave me some insider information on how he trades, and his charts are actually set up a lot like mine. He has white candles and blue candles, and he's like, all right,
Mhm.
man. So look right here, look right here. See, this is it's telling you, it's telling you, it's telling you, it's telling you, buy me. It's telling you, buy me right here, right? And then that candle closes, and that candle's white. What you gonna do now, huh? What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing, man. That candle is white. And then that next candle closes, and that candle. What color is that candle? That candle white. What you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. That candle's white. If I would have,
I remember coming to me during the one-on-one. It was like, I don't know what am I doing wrong. I don't know what technical analysis do I need to have. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
yeah, he's a funny dude. I'd love to get him on voice, man. He's funny as hell.
Mhm.
Funny,
Yeah,
funny dude.
yeah. But he's shy. He doesn't talk much. Yeah, but we'll get him on voice. We'll persuade him somehow to get him on voice.
Yeah.
You talk to him if push him a little bit.
Yeah, super simple approach, man. That cat will turn color on you? No? Then what you doing selling it?
Get him on voice tomorrow. The thing is that I don't push either Ryan or George or what's his name,
Yeah, exactly,
even
man.
Al to come online and kind of give their trades and whatnot, because we saw what happened with Ben, we saw what happened with Noor, we saw what happened with Ryan, and yada yada yada. But yeah, that's another reason that I'm very kind of, people behave very differently under pressure. Very different. It's very different. I think that they, because they said something and now they have to stick to it and whatnot. I don't know why, but yeah. So yeah, yeah. See if we can get him on voice, low key, and if we kind of not pressurize him into anything, that would be nice. It is blue and white, not in red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going into the ocean, going into the sky. That's good. Uh,
I'm gonna cut the recording now unless you have something else.
yeah, correct.